with Steve Austin and Triple H going over Undertaker and Kane to win the tag belts, with them now holding all the top 4 titles in the company. A Vince McMahon Austin and Hunter State of the Union address was the top segment advertised for the show tonight, with Kurt Angle coming out for the follow-up promo after a 4-3 overtime loss to Chris Benoit in the 30-minute submission match, second from the top on the pay-per-view card last night, saying that he won the match under Olympic rules, with him making Benoit tap seconds after the 30-minute buzzer, bringing out Benoit for the response, saying that despite all Angle's ability and accomplishments he still officially beat him in the match, starting an intense brawl with trademark fast-paced Angle-Benoit exchanges to end with Benoit taking Angle's medals, with the Backlash follow-up quarter opening Raw with a 4.1 rating. Raw picked up over 800,000 viewers in the second quarter, with Angle searching for Benoit backstage, with him already leaving the building with his medals, with the 9:15 to 9:30 quarter jumping to a 4.7 rating, also featuring 2 matches, first with 2 of the top tag wrestlers in the company in Edge and Matt Hardy working a title singles match against each other for the first time to go 4 minutes for the European title, with Hardy going over to retain, followed by X-Pac vs Spike Dudley in the continuation of the Dudleys X Factor feud. With Jim Ross continuing to lay the groundwork for the new WCW brand, with his workload pretty much doubled in the past month heading talent relations for both companies. One of the big talking points in the past week was a confirmed meeting between JR and the man who was perhaps the top guy in the last 6 months of WCW, and Scott Steiner, with Steiner who also got the biggest crowd reaction from the WWF crowd along with Goldberg when Vince sampled the WCW names during the simulcast promo on March 26, a more realistic target for the WWF than other top names under Time Warner contracts, with his deal expiring on December 1, 2001. Putting him on top of the list for the relaunch along with Booker T and Dallas Page, who unlike the 3 biggest earners in Goldberg, Nash and Sting are willing to give up their guaranteed deals for a chance to work in the WWF for the first time in their career. With the debut show, which is targeted now to mid-June, could also feature crossover ECW names, with the most talked about being Van Dam, and outside of Hulk Hogan, who is still looking to start up a new company with the Fox network before negotiating a WWF return, probably the biggest name currently available in the business with no contractual obligations in Scott Hall, as Raw continued to climb throughout the first hour, peaking with 2 5.1 ratings between 9:30 to 10 p.m. with the company replaying the Shane McMahon jump off the set last night as the big selling point for the pay-per-view replay, while closing the hour having Chris Jericho vs Rhino for the hardcore title going 4 minutes, ending with Rhino going over to retain after Edge and Christian's interference. Vince McMahon recapped the pay-per-view main event last night to open Raw's second hour, putting over Steve Austin and Triple H as 2 people who reach out for the brass ring of opportunity and seize the moment, with the TV product now built entirely on them after taking over the company with every major title available. Introducing Austin and Hunter coming to the ring for the celebration just as Linda McMahon showed up in WWF New York, changing the originally scheduled Austin vs Kane title match in the main event tonight due to Kane's injured arm, with Taker instead taking his place, booking Austin and Hunter in 2 separate singles matches in the next hour, with Hunter against Test and Austin against Taker for the title in the main event. as the top of the hour segment soared, all picking up over 400,000 viewers to the top full quarter of the night 5.3 rating. After it looked like a one-week aberration on April 12 with the show rebounding back a week later, SmackDown last Thursday in the go-home show for the Backlash pay-per-view brought back worrying signs of a potential pattern with the show, which was mainly built around the Austin and Hunter vs. Taker and Kane feud, with all 4 working matches in separate segments, dropping back to near record low territory with a 3.7 rating with 5.8 million viewers, marking 2 out of the last 3 weeks where the show dropped below the 6 million viewers range for the first time in the brand's history, to make April 2001 the least watched month in SmackDown's almost 2-year history, leading to Raw taking back the lead for the month as the most watched wrestling show on television after SmackDown pulled away since Raw's move to TNN in September 2000 by usually big margins of 1 million+ viewers, as with the company looking to reverse the growing pattern on UPN on Thursday nights. TNN, which driven by Raw finished in its highest ranking in history in the top cable TV charts for the first quarter of 2001, continued to show complete dependency on Raw to start the second quarter of the year in April, with the network growing from a 0.6 primetime average rating to a full rating point average compared to April 2000, but with Raw taken out of the average, the network stayed in the same half a rating point range with no growth from the big Raw viewership, continuing the pattern that Raw also showed on the USA Network of WWF viewers coming in massive numbers to watch Raw but not staying for anything else, with the changing landscape of the wrestling industry over the past year also showing its effect on the former homes of Nitro, Thunder and Raw, with TNT and TBS combined dropping over 30% in viewership without WCW programming, while USA Network dropped 26% without the WWF. After opening the broadcast advertising Austin vs. Kane for the title in the main event and midway through the show changing it to Taker vs. Austin instead, both matches ended up not happening, with Taker making his entrance for the match followed by Austin and Hunter attacking Kane backstage, leading to a show-closing brawl with Austin and Taker eventually getting to the ring to kick off the match before a DQ finish less than a minute in, with the show also going shorter than usual past the top of the hour as the Austin and Hunter beatdown segment laying out Taker and further injuring Kane's arm saw all going off the air at 11:04 p.m., with the 4-minute overrun peaking the show at a 5.6 rating with over 7 million viewers, as Raw, while not getting the post-pay-per-view boost, staying around the same range with a 5 overall rating.